In this video, I'm going to show you a 3-step method that's going to take your chord playing from sounding pretty basic to that next level. And as with all of the steps in this video, even if you only use a few of them, they will truly transform your chord playing. Let's dive in. Hello, welcome back to the Keys Coach YouTube channel. My name's Adam, and thank you so much for clicking on this video. In this lesson, I'm going to show you how to make your chord playing sound more pro. When I was first starting out on the piano, I had these buskers books. They contain like hundreds and hundreds of different songs, and it would have the chords, the melody, and the lyrics. And I could never read the melody, but I just sort of followed along with the lyrics and followed along with the chords. So say a chord in a song was C, what I'd do is I'd literally plonk down a C chord in what I now know is root position. And in my left hand, I'd play the bass note. And I did this with so many different songs. So say the chords were C, F, and G. I just play like that. I might have added a bit more rhythm. Or maybe, you know, something like that. But it didn't sound great. My playing sounded basic, it wasn't very cohesive, and the chords didn't really flow from one to another. And I was just kind of longing for a way for things to kind of open up for me on the piano. And as I was putting together this video, I actually remembered the song that triggered kind of a whole new pathway for me on the piano. It's a song you'll probably recognize. Check it out.
'Cause you had a bad day, you take one down, you sing a sad song just to turn it around.
If you don't know already, this song is called Bad Day, and it's by a singer-songwriter called Daniel Powter. And this song was everywhere when I was growing up. It was on the radio, it was just all over the TV. And I remember hearing it, and it just triggered something, particularly the intro. Check the intro out.
Where was the moment we needed the most? You kick up the leaves and the magic is lost.
Can you hear what he's doing there? He's basically, it's quite nostalgic hearing that actually, but can you hear what he's doing there? He's literally playing 2 notes in his right hand. He's playing the root and the 5th of the key. He's in the key of E flat, and he's just playing the root and the 5th, an E flat and a B flat. And in his left hand, he's changing the root notes. Something like that. Something like that. But do you get the idea? It was suddenly such a departure from having to go that kind of thing. Can you hear the difference? It just doesn't sound as smooth. It doesn't sound as clean. So let's dive into this 3-step method. Now, the first step is to do what Daniel was doing in the video, which is to play 1 and 5 through everything. We're actually going to do this in the same key as Bad Day, which is E flat. There's your E flat major scale, and E flat has an E flat, an A flat, and a B flat in it, okay? And our chord sequence, if I was just to play it regularly, would go E flat, A flat, C minor 7, B flat sus 4. I'll do that once more. Now, I was using a few inversions there. I guess when I was first starting out, I probably would have played them all in root position, like that. But I used a few inversions when I played it just then. If you don't understand inversions yet, or you're thinking, oh, I'm not quite sure about those, I've actually made a video all about how to get inversions into your playing, and I've linked that up above. So we're gonna have a go now at playing that chord sequence in the same style as Daniel. So we're gonna keep that root and 5th in our right hand, and we're just gonna change the left hand. So we've got E flat, we've got A flat, we've got C minor 7, and we've got B flat sus 4. So let's play about with the rhythm we're using in our right hand, and we're actually going to use a similar rhythm to what Daniel played in the song Bad Day. It was something like this. I mean, I've simplified it a little bit, but it's got the right kind of vibe. I'm going to have a go now at playing that along with a backing track I've created. know what? I think we should develop it just a little bit in our right hand. At the moment, it's just a 1-bar pattern over and over. Let's just add something into the second bar. So let's go here. Do you see that chord there? We're kind of going from a B flat sus to a regular B flat chord. Let's have a go at playing that with a track. I'm aware I'm covering a lot of ground here, and I want you to be able to practice all of the steps in this video at home. So I've put together a free PDF lesson book. It contains the notation for every step I'm going to cover in this video. It also contains all the backing tracks I'm using, so you can practice this all in your own time. Go grab your copy. The link is in the video description. I think we should maybe just change up our left hand a little bit. At the moment, we're playing single notes. But I think what we could do is actually play fifths, open fifths. So E flat would be this, A flat would be this, C minor would be this, and then B flat sus4 would be there. Some people tell you shouldn't play kind of consecutive fifths. It's all context specific. In this kind of music, it sounds great. Okay, let's try that. We're going to play our right hand pattern as before, and we're now going to play those fifths in our left hand. Let's try that with a track. Now, before we move on to step 2, I think we can add just a little bit more rhythm in our right hand. I'm going to use something called a toggle, which is where the upper part of your hand plays the chord, and your thumb in your right hand is just used occasionally to kind of add a bit of extra rhythmic drive. So let me show you this pattern. So all I'm doing there is I'm using that thumb just to add a bit of kind of extra rhythmic interest. Let's try that with the track, and I'm also going to add in my left hand. Here we go. Let's go again. So step 2 is to think about how we can get even more out of this idea. I really like the rhythm we're playing. I like the vibe. I think it's working really well. At the moment, we're playing everything here on the piano. We've got our B flat at the top, we've got an E flat in the middle, and then we've got a B flat toggle in our right hand. I wonder whether we can invert this whole pattern. Let's move it to a different place. Let's move it up there. So we've now got an E flat and a B flat at the top, and we've now got an E flat toggle in our right hand thumb. Let me show you what the pattern would look like up here. Just a way you can kind of change it up a little bit. It kind of sounds the same, it's the same rhythm, but it just kind of is voiced differently. Let's have a go at playing that with the track. Okay, so we've now got 2 different places to play that pattern. We've got our pattern here, and we've got our pattern up there. We now need something else. So this is step 3. Quite often when you're playing a song, you want to have several different ways you can play the chord progression. This is what makes it sound fresh each time a chorus comes around. Maybe you want to go up a gear depending on kind of where you are in the song. So let's find a different way we can play the same sequence. Now I reckon we should take more of a triadic approach. So rather than just playing the open fifths or the open fourths, we should fill in more notes of the chords. So we're still going to keep our left hand the same. Now in this part of our right hand, we're going to play the root and fifth of the key. So we're in E flat, so the root is going to go there all the way through. Don't think about this part of your hand in relation to the chords we're on. I know that might seem super, super weird, but just bear with me here. We're going to go like that. Kind of similar to what we were doing before. See that? There's all of those different chords. Now, in the upper part of our right hand, we're going to have a moving melody. I'll do that again for you. So, even though I've got two hands, I'm kind of playing three different parts. I've got root and fifth, kind of really punching it out down the bottom. I've got my right hand sort of thumb and second finger playing the key, the root and fifth of the key on every chord. And in the upper part of my right hand, I've got this really nice melody. Now, how would I make that sound more rhythmically interesting? I'll break it down. Now you may notice there that I'm not changing my right hand at the beginning of every chord. I'm hanging over the previous voicing from the previous chord. Does that make sense? It's getting a little bit complicated, but I think this is what you want on this channel, right? Let me know in the comments. Let's try it out. So watch this. So my left hand has changed onto the A flat, but I've held over the E flat chord in my right hand. Then I've moved. My right hand is really just doing this pattern. I'm going to have a go at playing the left hand and the right hand part with the track. You can almost think of your right hand part as a riff that's just going over and over and your left hand's changing. Okay, let's see if we can now put everything together. So we're going to go through this sequence several times and we're going to kind of go up a level every time we go back around the sequence. We're going to start off with that original pattern we looked at. We're then going to add in the toggle. We're then going to invert it, so we take it up to that new position we looked at. We're then going to do the triadic approach, which we looked at just a moment ago. And then following on from that, you're just going to freestyle. Don't worry about what you're going to play. Pick any of the approaches we've done, or just have a go at making something up, but just see what comes out. Give yourself that space to just try out some new ideas. Let's give it a go. I'll talk you through it, and I'll see you at the end. Don't forget to download your free PDF lesson book. It contains the notation for everything we've covered today, along with all the backing tracks, so you can really get this under your fingers. Drop a comment below as well. I love hearing from you all. Let me know how you found the lesson and what you'd like me to cover in the next one. And if you're looking for another video to take your keys playing to the next level, check out this video right here.